10 amazing educational stories. 1. The shipwreck and the fire. In the middle of the ocean, a ship was caught in a fierce storm and completely destroyed. A sole surviving passenger floated and finally washed ashore on a deserted island. Upon regaining consciousness, he first thanked Allah with all his heart for saving his life. Every day, he sat by the shore, hoping a ship would pass by, but every day he had to return disappointed. In the meantime, he built a small hut for himself near the beach. He survived by catching fish from the sea and hunting for fruits in the forest. One day, he went into the forest in search of food. When he returned, he saw that his hut had caught fire from his cooking stove and had burned to ashes. The sky was filled with thick black smoke. The man cried out in despair, "O Allah, you had this written in my fate too." The next morning, he was awakened by the sound of a ship. The ship was heading towards the island just to rescue him. Astonished, he asked, "How did you know I was stranded here?" The ship's captain replied, "We saw your smoke signal." 2. The eagle and the chickens. An eagle had built its nest on top of a massive mountain. There were 4 eggs in the eagle's nest. Every morning it would leave them and fly off in search of food. One day, while the eagle was away, an earthquake shook the entire mountain. Because of this, one of the eagle's eggs rolled out of the nest, it kept rolling, and finally fell into a chicken's yard at the bottom of the mountain. The hen brought the egg into her own nest and placed it with her other eggs. She took good care of it and incubated it. Eventually, a beautiful baby eagle hatched from that egg. The baby eagle began to grow up right alongside the chicks. However, from the inside, it always felt something different. One day, seeing a flock of eagles soaring in the sky, it told the hen, "I wish I could fly like them." The hen laughed and replied, "How can you fly? You are a chicken, and chickens never fly." The eagle would often watch its own kind flying and dream that it too would soar like them, but every time it shared its dream, the hen would say it was absolutely impossible. The eagle learned to believe the words of the hen and spent the rest of its life living just like the other chickens. After living like this for a long time, it eventually died. Actually, this is a profound truth in our lives too. You eventually become what you learn to believe. So if you dream of flying like an eagle, pursue that dream. Don't listen to the words of chickens. 3. The coffin in the office. A very large company suddenly started incurring huge losses in its business. One afternoon, as the employees were returning from lunch at an outside canteen, they saw a notice at the entrance of the office. The notice read, "The person responsible for our company's losses passed away yesterday. His body has been kept in a coffin in the seminar room. Anyone who wishes to see him is invited." Hearing the news of a colleague's death, people initially felt sad, but soon after they grew curious, wondering who that person could be. They all gathered in the seminar room thinking, who was the person standing in the way of our success? Well, whoever it was, at least he is no longer alive. As they went up to the coffin one by one and looked inside, they suddenly became speechless and stunned, as if the body of someone very dear to them had been placed. Inside the coffin, there was actually a mirror. Whoever looked inside saw their own face. On a piece of paper beside the mirror, it was written, "There is only one person in the entire world capable of standing in the way of your success, and that is you yourself. You are the only person who can change your life, who can make you happy, who can help you. Your life does not change when your boss changes, when your guardians change, or when your friends change. Your life only changes when you change yourself. When you can break past the limits of your own beliefs about your capabilities, only then does your life change, and your life's goals are fulfilled. Illuminate your surroundings with your own light." 4. The House of 1,000 Mirrors. In a fairy tale village, there was a house by the river named the House of 1,000 Mirrors. In that village, there lived a little girl with a beautiful, smiling face. One day, she heard about the House of Mirrors from her parents. She had never been out of her house before. She hadn't seen nature or reality. So she decided to go see this house. But, lacking the courage to go alone, she took another girl of her age with her. Arriving in front of the house, the first girl thought she would go in first, see everything, and come back out before the second girl went in. As planned, she entered. Upon entering, her face lit up with joy seeing the wonderful, colorful designs. Slowly, she stepped into the room of 1,000 mirrors. Her eyes widened in amazement. She saw 1,000 girls looking exactly like her, staring back at her with bright, smiling faces. Whatever she did, the others did exactly the same. Having enjoyed it immensely, she came out and told her companion everything, saying, "I've never seen such a beautiful place. Whenever I get a chance, I will come here." Hearing this, the second girl entered with a somewhat fearful mind. Roaming around nervously, she finally entered the house of 1,000 mirrors. As soon as she walked in, she got scared. Her face turned pale with fear. Her eyes filled with panic. She noticed 1,000 girls looking exactly like her, staring back with terrified and panicked eyes. When the girl raised both hands in fear and asked, "Who are you?" the other 1,000 girls also raised their hands and stared at her. Terrified, she ran out of the house and told the first girl, "Let's go home immediately. This is a very bad place. I will never come here again." Moral: life is like a mirror. However you view life, it will present itself to you in the exact same way. For those who move forward with courage, love, enthusiasm, and an indomitable will to conquer, life becomes much easier and joyful. But for those who try to move forward with frustration, fear, and mental depression, success becomes a mirage. Life becomes exhausting and gloomy. Reality will present itself to you exactly as you perceive it. 5. The Selfish Man and the Gold Coins. A long time ago, there lived a selfish man. He always looked for opportunities to take a share of others' wealth, but he refused to share even a penny of his own wealth with anyone, not with his friends, nor with the poor. One day, the man lost his 30 gold coins on the road. A friend of his heard about this loss. This friend was a very kind-hearted person. Coincidentally, the kind friend's daughter found the 30 gold coins on the road. When she brought them home, her father said these must be the coins his friend had lost, so he went to the selfish man to return them. But when the selfish friend heard that the daughter had found the coins, he lied and said, "I had a total of 40 gold coins. Your daughter must have hidden 10 of them. You have to give me all 40 coins." Hearing this, the kind man got angry, left the coins there, and walked away. But the selfish friend was persistent. He took the matter to court. The judge listened carefully to his complaint and summoned the father and his daughter. When they arrived, the judge asked the girl how many coins she had found. The girl replied, 30 gold coins. Then the judge asked the selfish man how many coins he had lost. The man replied, a total of 40 coins. The judge then told the man that the coins the girl found did not belong to him, because she found 30 coins, but he lost 40. He told the girl to take the coins home with her and said that if anyone reported losing 30 coins, he would call her again. The judge also told the selfish man that if anyone reported finding 40 gold coins, he would be summoned. Instantly, the selfish man confessed that he had lied and actually lost 30 coins, begging them back. But the judge refused to listen to him.
The Mother's Bill. One day, a boy went to his mother and handed her a bill. The mother read the note her son had given her. The son wrote, "Watering the plants, 10 taka. Buying things from the store, 15 taka. Babysitting little brother, 40 taka. Throwing out the garbage, 20 taka. Getting good grades in exams, 50 taka. Hanging the mosquito net, 5 taka. Total, 140 taka. The mother smiled as she read the bill. Then she looked at her 8-year-old son's face for a while. Tears welled up in her eyes. She took a piece of paper and began to write, "Carrying you in my womb for 10 months, free of charge. Nursing you, free of charge. staying awake night after night for you, free of charge. Praying for you when you were sick, caring for you, taking you to the doctor, shedding tears for you, free of charge. Bathing you, free of charge. Telling you stories, singing songs and rhymes, free of charge. Buying you toys and clothes, free of charge. Washing, drying, and changing your blankets, free of charge. Teaching you how to study, free of charge. And loving you more than myself, completely free of charge. Then the child took the bill from his mother's hand and wrote in small letters at the bottom, "This bill is impossible to pay off even with my life." The Pool of Milk. Once, a king ordered his men to build a large pool. When the pool was finished, an announcement was made throughout the kingdom that very night, everyone should bring a glass of milk from their home and pour it into the pool. The king wanted to see a pool full of milk from his palace balcony the next morning. The king's command reached everyone. One man thought, since everyone will be bringing a glass of milk, if I secretly pour a glass of water into the pool in the dark of night, no one will notice. So he went with the crowd and quietly poured a glass of water into the pool unnoticed. The next morning, the king came out to his palace balcony and gasped in dismay. His beloved pool was filled only with water. There was not a single drop of milk in it. It turned out that everyone had thought the exact same thing. There's no need for me to bring milk. The others will surely pour milk into the pool. Wealth, success, and love. A woman came out of her house and saw 3 old men sitting in her front yard. She didn't recognize any of them, so she said, "I don't recognize any of you, but you must be hungry. Please come in. I will arrange some food for you." They asked, "Is the master of the house in?" The woman replied, "No, he is gone out." "Then we cannot come in," they said. In the evening, when her husband returned home and heard everything, he said, "Go tell them I'm back and invite them inside." The woman went out and asked them to come in, but they said, "We do not go into a house together." The woman asked, "But why? What's the problem now?" One of the old men explained, "His name is Wealth." Pointing to another, he said, "His name is Success, and I am Love. Now go inside and decide with your husband which of us you want to invite in." When the woman went inside and explained everything, her husband was overjoyed and said, "Wonderful! Let's invite Wealth, then our house will be filled with riches." His wife disagreed. "No, I think we should invite Success." Their daughter, who was listening from the other side of the room, chimed in, "Don't you think we should invite Love? Then our home will be filled with love." The husband said, "All right, let's listen to our daughter. Go outside and invite Love to be our guest." The old man named Love stood up and started walking towards the house. The other 2 also stood up and followed him. The woman was very surprised and said, "I only invited Love. Why are the rest of you coming in?" The old men replied, "If you had invited Wealth or Success, the other 2 of us would have stayed outside. But since you invited Love, wherever he goes, we go with him. Wherever there is love, there is also wealth and success." 9. The Doctor and the Dog. One day, a famous doctor went to a village to see a patient. A very sick man was lying in a hospital bed. As the doctor was leaving after examining him, the man grabbed his hand. "Doctor, I am afraid of death. Do you know what happens after death?" "I honestly don't know." The man asked, "You don't know? Don't you believe in religion?" The doctor remained silent. Then he turned his head and walked toward the cabin door. As he opened the door, his pet white Eskimo dog bounded into the room from the other side. It came in, wagging its tail joyfully, with its tongue hanging out. The doctor looked back at his patient and said, "Did you see my dog? It had never seen this room before. It didn't even know what was inside.
It only knew that its master was inside. So as soon as I opened the door, it rushed in fearlessly. I also know very little about what lies beyond death, but I do know one thing. I know that my master is there, and that is enough for me. 10. The Barber and God. A man went to a salon to get a haircut. As usually happens during a haircut, the man and the barber struck up a conversation. From one topic to another, they eventually started discussing whether God exists or not. Suddenly, the barber said, "I don't believe God exists." Surprised, the man asked, "Why would you say that?" The barber replied, "Are you blind? Just go out into the street and you'll see God doesn't exist. If such a being existed, so many people wouldn't be suffering from starvation. Tell me, if God really existed, would so many people suffer from diseases? Even nursing infants aren't spared. If God really existed, no one would be in pain. I don't understand. If there is a creator, how could he allow his own creations to suffer like this?" The customer thought for a moment, but stayed quiet. He didn't want to get into an argument. After the haircut, the man stepped out of the shop. Upon walking out, he saw a man on the street with long, dirty, matted hair and an unkempt beard. The customer immediately walked back into the shop and told the barber, "Did you know that there are no barbers in this area?" The barber was shocked. "What nonsense are you talking about? Why wouldn't there be a barber here? I just cut your hair." The man pointed to the guy outside with the tangled hair and said, "If there are barbers, then how can someone live in this area with such dirty, long, matted hair?" The barber replied, "Well, he has to come to me to get his hair cut, doesn't he?" The customer simply smiled and walked away.